Alright, guys, we have episode 2 here of me pursuing rank 1, but check this out. I'm not going to name names, but clearly some people are not happy with the mission I have in mind. Now, for this episode, I said I was going to be killing bases, but then after I defeat that base, I will go to that actual base itself and give them a defensive tip. I'm only going to do it if I actually can defeat them, but this should keep the content entertaining and unique. I'm still using the same strategy, which, by the way, I do want to replace. I'll mention it after, but check this guy's base out. This is a new spender that's come out of the woodwork lately, and he has a really unique lineup. Which, by the way, what are these hearts? Like, what is that effect? I'm not sure if anyone knows, but yeah, he has Shuriken Ace, he has Puppet Master, he has Lone Gunner, really unique setup. Oh my gosh. So many new effects from the Shuriken Ace hero. I don't actually think Shuriken Ace is good. Matter of fact, I think he's really bad. But this guy is using him. Seems like he's putting a lot of new heroes on base. I actually forgot to put Spear on my Puppet Master, so I don't know if I have enough damage here. Let's find out. But like I was saying, I want to replace this setup. I know I'm using Sacred Warrior and Puppet Master, but it's not the most ideal setup. The reason I'm using it is because they double dip as my defensive heroes. So, you know, they're upgraded to the gills because I'm a defensive player. They happen to be strong enough to work on offense, but ideally I want to actually use Pyriel. Now, I don't have the resources to upgrade her to the fullest yet. Yeah, this is the issue with not having Spear on my Puppet Master. There's just heroes that don't die. So I might need 2 months or so to make Pyriel strong enough. The only issue is, what the heck? 13 million damage? Okay. I didn't even kill his Lone Gunner. Alright, let's go to his base and... Okay. So what advice would I give this guy? Honestly, I don't mean it in a rude way, but this hero is just really bad. I would take this hero off base. But other than that, like let's say he does that, I'll give him another tip as well. He has a pretty good setup, honestly. Yeah, he doesn't have a bad setup. Actually, he has a really good setup. Oh my gosh. He has a really good setup. And I really like how he has 4 ranged heroes that all do a bunch of damage. I would replace this guy with Shadow Beast, Penthesilia. If you're trying to go off meta, I think you can make Thunderwing work. Animalass. Other than that, you can tell he's kind of like still getting in the groove of creating his own strategy, so I won't knock it there. I guess I would change this equipment as well. Yeah. I think Spear is just better than Tyrant's Brand, but Tyrant's Brand isn't even bad. That's it for that guy. You know, I gave him what I had to say. He had a really strong base, honestly. And I could see him, he reminds me of FA. Like, I could see him coming out of the woodwork in the future. Oh, let's hit Bow Ranger. I don't even know if I can beat this guy right now. I forgot to put Spear on. One sec. I have so much maxed equipment, by the way. Look at that. All right. So yeah, I want to use Pyriel, but the issue with me using Pyriel is, one sec, let me make sure I can beat this guy. I don't want to lose this. The fruit debuff, look at that. I can't cast one skill. Shooting Star, Bow Ranger, and the fruit debuff. The issue with that strategy though, which I will give him in the feedback if I can beat him, I'll just give it now actually. All of that rage reduction is actually much less impactful during Lord Olympia games and Guild Clash because of the Chariot. Bow Ranger is much stronger in Lord's League than those game modes. How do I just one-shot myself there? It must have been the Reflect, but I have Berserker aid on him. Alright, looks like I beat his base. But yeah, Pyriel. The issue with Pyriel is she is not a defensive hero. So if I spend all of my next month or so's resources on an attack hero, my defense then falls short somewhat because since the dawn of time, I have only invested resources into defense. If I invest my resources into an offensive hero that will have no use on defense, I'm double dipping in two different areas, and it kind of ruins my goals of being the best defense, you know? But I'm going to be real. If I used Pyriel, that would be so much fun. Sorry, I don't know if there's like kids watching this because I'm playing a phone game. But I think we all can agree that 3-starring top bases with Pyriel would be sick. Let me give this guy some feedback. He's in a similar boat to the last base. He's doing something unique. I can't knock it too much. If I had to give him some feedback, I don't think the bow on Shooting Star is that necessary. Also, this guy, I would tell him to change some heroes here. Like, I don't think he needs Shooting Star if he has Bow Ranger on base. But he goes all in on one hero, so it's not like he has a substitute he can put in. I guess the tip I'd give is just to glyph up your heroes here if you care about defense, but I think he's more of an offensive-oriented player. And he has a really good setup. I wonder if Dagger would be better on his Bow Ranger, but at the same time, I don't think so, because he does need a hero to kill Penth. So yeah, he has a good setup overall. It's funny, because hitting him, I knew I didn't have much feedback for that guy. I just wanted all of my close friends. All of the unique bases in the game that don't copy the meta or like in this video. Okay, I need to buckle up. I can't lose this. Can't lose to a Wrath user. Yeah. Hitting Bow Ranger's base, I knew going into it I didn't have much feedback for him because he's very strategic. But I wanted to see if I could kill him. He has a really cool, unique setup. Level 300 Bow Ranger. Lone Gunner is an amazing defensive hero. I'm thinking about putting him back on my base, honestly, because he's just so good. Can I beat this guy, though? He's using Wrath, Abyss Demon, Animalass. His Wrath is still alive somehow. I'm a little worried. There's no way I lose this, right? A level 230 Wrath? Okay. So this guy him and I actually are close. We strategize a lot defensively, and I'm enjoying this video a lot, actually. I hit 3 bases in a row that are all super unique. And they were all difficult in their own way. This guy did pretty good. Wow, his Penth did the least. Look at that, guys. Defense is not always what you think. Sometimes it's not good just to rely on things like Penth and whatnot. But let me give him some feedback. Did I go to One World? Oh, there he is. Yeah. Where are you? All right. What feedback would I give this guy? I'm gonna be honest. I told him to do this. I told him to put Rod on Abyss Demon because every time the Rod hits an enemy, it actually heals from his skill. But that was a long time ago, and I think I realized that there's better equipment for Abyss Demon nowadays. I honestly think Thunderblade might be better because this heals once per second, even if he's stunned. The Thunderblade, though, heals like an insane amount, like 8 times at once every time the blade, chains through enemies. And it also has piercing attacks, it has crit damage, and the empowered skill reduces the rage cost for his active skill, which would go really well, or the rage cost and the cooldown, which would go really well with the Death Vortex set. The other piece of advice I'll give him is, let's see where his... So he has a fruit set on one hero. On his shooting star, I would try and stack this fruit set as much as I could with the heroes that are getting hit with this rage increase from Wrath. And to do that, you have to have the fruit set hero as far away from Wrath as possible because Wrath's skill hits far away enemies. So I would keep these guys at a distance, shooting star and Wrath. But I think this glyph set is honestly better on a melee hero, because this star reduces CK's damage much more when it's on a melee hero, and the debuff hits more enemies when it's on a melee hero because they are much closer to enemies. A lot of nuanced tips here for off-brand strategies that most people probably do not use, but who do I want to hit here? I gotta go for this guy again. I just barely beat him last video, and I feel like I can do better. This guy has a very cliche defensive lineup. This is probably the lineup that 99% of the top 200 players use. I know this guy's an offensive player too, but let's see if I can even beat him first. I just barely beat him last time. I'm struggling. I can't cast one skill. This is why Bow Ranger is deceiving. You think he's so OP when you hit in Lord's League, and then you have infinite 0 rage cost in Lord Olympia games with Zafan. And in that time, Bow Ranger usually dies because he's such a glass cannon. He doesn't have anything defensive to keep him alive. Looks like I might beat this guy. I don't know what hero is stuck right here. I really hope it's not Penth, but... By the way, I want to know who tattletaled on me to Bama Boy. Just admit it. I know it was someone in United 66. I know he doesn't watch my videos the second they get uploaded, so someone must have sent it in the United 66 group chat. Just admit who you are. The worst part about it is I guarantee you he disconnected at least once or twice on a failed hit. He did beat me all of those hits 5 times in a row, but there's huge time gaps between some of them, so you can tell like there's some suspicious behavior going on there. We'll wait till Olympia Games though, then we know for certain. I know he has a bounty on my head though. So I count this as a win. Looks like I beat Dare to win again. One of the most old school players there is. Really strong base. Since we're on the topic of unique bases, I was thinking about making an entire video about this, but I guess I'll just say it here. I implore you guys to dare to create your own unique strategy. And the reason I say that is because through creating my own unique strategies on defense, failing, trying again, testing something unique, I feel like I've learned so many unique mechanics and things about heroes and strategies to counter stuff that the average player won't necessarily get a full grasp of because they haven't experienced it themselves. They're still using the same strategy they were using, 5 years ago. Now, I forgot to give this guy feedback. What am I doing? Dare to win. All right. What would I change with this guy's base? Can't give away too much because this is our rival, United 66, but I'll give something pretty generous. I would change... first of all, I would take Foxy off base. Foxy is not a good defensive hero in my opinion. I think that's pretty well established, but if he wants to have her, I would maybe put a heart on her or a thorned bow. He has a very generic defensive setup. What else? I don't think Demon Cloak is a good equipment, actually. I would change this to Dagger, honestly. I would change that to Dagger. Surely he has a second one. And I would also change one of these spears to a dagger because I think you only want one Penth killer on your team. Having 2 spears makes them too squishy. So I would probably add 2 daggers in there and change Foxy out. All right, we're at 18 minutes. I got one more in me. By the way, this happened like hours after I uploaded, so Apache hit me as well. He didn't kill a single one of my heroes, but he got 96%. But that lets me know my strategy is somewhat good. All right. Ooh, I can't beat these guys. Let's see if I could kill this guy. This is going to be hard. I don't know if I can beat this guy. He has a really tough base. Let's see what I can do, though. What do I want to drop? And he has Chrono Keeper, which is really good against Demon Slayer. Let's see. I'll drop right here. No, I'll drop right here. It amazes me there's people actually upgrading Abyssal Maw. Like if you go to the event leaderboard that shows the rankings for who upgraded that hero the most, some people are really upgrading him. Who knows? Maybe he gets an OP enchant skill. Next thing you know, he's the next Spirit Steward. The issue with this strategy is what you're witnessing right here. Devilish Dagger is OP, especially on Penthesilea. I basically get stalled out for like 5 minutes versus Penth, some hits. And it sucks because Animalast is bugged actually. She doesn't remove things like Devilish Dagger, Dragonheart, Holy Hammer. So basically we get this, just a Penth casting her skill over and over. You guys entertained? Surely you guys are entertained right now, right? You see this Penth outskilling me? Alright, cut the video. Cut the video. Get me out of here. Just kidding. Good fight. Can't beat this guy yet, which is surprising because he looks on paper weaker than some other bases I've beaten before, but seems like that hit didn't go that well. I won't give him feedback because he beat me, but that's it for this video. For episode 3, I'm not sure how I'm going to make it unique yet. Like I said, I want to replace Sacred Warrior, but I need more time to get my Pyriel ready. Ideal case scenario, I'm using Pyriel, and I'm also using another unique hero. That's it for this video. Oh, maybe Lone Gunner with his skill debuff. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, if you guys have ideas, let me know for the 3rd episode for how to keep it unique. And I will see you in the next video.